All right, week 4, final week, mini games and other, some miscellaneous updates as well as the mini game quality of life. Let's get into it. All right, so the first question, it's got me a little confused. There's actually a little bit of a Twitter conversation going on between myself and Mod Wolf, and we're kind of discussing why this wouldn't be good and solutions they can do to add to make it not bad. I see this as a nerf because right now you can right click, or sorry, not right click, you can open up the interface and click the all button and it will instantly take them out, and you can basically zero tick withdraw your bars. And if they added the make all interface as they're suggesting here, it would actually be a nerf because it would add at least a 1 tick delay, possibly more, making the max rates of like gold bars go from like 400 and something K to about 385K ish. And so I'm not a big fan of this unless they add what Wolf is talking about, which is a right click take, so you don't have to worry about the interface. And if you just want to withdraw a certain amount, you can, instead of just withdrawing all from a right click take all. So if that does come, I'm okay with this. If not, I don't really want this to come in. What they're suggesting is adding in the make all interface. Even though you don't make anything there, you just kind of withdraw. So like I said, if they change it, I'm okay with it, but we'll have to see. They do always make revisions to these, so if you are watching this when I make the video, make sure you go over and actually read the updated one whenever that comes out, before the poll is out or when the poll is out, because these questions are subject to change always. All right, so the rest of these questions are all pretty much quality of life. I don't think any of these are big nerfs or buffs. None of them are too game breaking in terms of making something really easy or, adding some inconvenience to something. The second question is, should you be able to reclaim more than one royal seed pod from King Narnode? So this is an issue for, people who are in the wilderness. If you die with a seed pod, you lose it. So you either have to go back to the king, or if you died below 30, you can go back and pick it up, I think, or it might be 20. I don't remember. I think you just lose it. I think it's just lost whenever you die with it. Anyways, it is annoying to have to go back to King Narnode every time. So now you can just go get yourself a full inventory. And then every 28 times you die, you go back to him, I guess, instead of going back every single time you die. It's a nice update. I think a lot of people will like this. I'll like it for sure for Venenatus whenever he combos me out for like a 80. She? I don't know, it's a spider. All right, the next question is, should the Karamja Gloves 4 be changed so that the teleport locations to Duradel and Gem Mine are right-click while in your inventory? So this is a good update for Slayers, because right now you have to equip the gloves and then right-click teleport with Duradel or to Duradel, instead of being able to do it from your inventory, especially if you're in multi and you just pick up your cannon, you're being attacked by like 5 things. It's harder to teleport, so it's nicer. Instead of having to equip it and, kind of run off and then teleport, you can just do it from your inventory. Good update. All right, next question. I don't really understand. Should a remove all option be added to baskets and sacks of fruit and vegetables, such as strawberries and cabbages? I don't really know what this changes. I think it might help with like tick eating scenarios, or if you're like a low level doing a fire cape and use baskets of strawberries, like if you're an Iron Man. I don't know what else this would be useful for. I'm not against it though, so sure, why not? Okay, this next question is, if a remove all is added to the baskets, should it be possible to shift withdraw into your remaining inventory spaces? Let's say you got like 3 inventory spaces, you got a basket of 5 strawberries, it would take 3 of them out. I don't know how much this changes too many things. I believe it makes it a lot easier for tick eating at Bandos. Not really a lot easier, because that is already very, very difficult. So I don't think that's going to be too big of an issue. And also there's probably only like 10 people in the game who actually go and do that, regularly. So probably not a big issue for that. It's the only thing I could think of though where that would matter. I don't think you'd have to withdraw a bunch of strawberries all at once to eat them up, or potatoes, I guess. Not strawberries, but whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Anyways, I'm not against it. I don't really get why they're pulling this, but I guess it's just because everything has to be pulled, so sure. Okay, the next question. Should the various enchant jewelry tabs be changed so their left click is use instead of break? I actually don't know how this one works. I thought break was when it gets used, so if left click is used, would that be just you use it on a piece of jewelry? I don't actually understand that one. I don't know how those tabs work, so I don't really know how to vote on this one. All right, next is, should it be possible for tool leprechauns to accept all types of compost in noted forms? They recently made it so you can store up to 1,000, and now they're making it so you can store them noted. I feel like this is a buff, but not to many players. I believe, a lot of players eventually get to the point where they're using fertile soil spell, either with volcanic ash or without, so they don't really need to store compost. It's mainly only affects low levels, and not even that much really. Usually, if you're an Iron Man, you make your compost, then you chuck it in a leprechaun. And if you're another level, I guess you could just buy it on the GE and then chuck it in there. Not a big deal, sure. I don't think this changes much at all. All right, this next question is something that I believe Kieran has been working on for a very long time, and it's cool to see that he's actually able to implement it. So it's going to be an achievement diary interface update. This is like probably the definition of quality of life. It's not really a change to anything apart from just being able to see something a little easier. So right here, for example, if you have a bunch of the hard for me done, you would see that, and like none of the easy, you'd see that as well. So you can basically see how far you are in each of the different diaries and tiers of them without having to open them up. That's cool. I'm okay with it. Sure. These next questions, I believe they only really affect free-to-play players. But should the Skull Scepter, when it's equipped, be possible to check the remaining charges with a right-click option? So you basically can see how many charges you got left in your Skull Scepter. I guess you can't at the moment. And also, should the number of uses you have left when you use it show up in your chat box? So let's say you use it, it would say you have 5 charges left or 3 charges left. I actually don't even know how many charges the Scepter has. I want to assume 10, but it might be 5 or 3. I don't actually remember. I haven't used one in so long. Why not? You know, more information without having to, you know, use it and then be out of it and then just be like, oh shit, now I gotta go get another one. Should a right-click unlock hint be added to music tracks? I'm okay with this as long as it doesn't take up too much dev time, because I feel like they have to add one for each track unless they've already got that information. It's just a simple code, right-click, check it, whatever. That's fine. I mean, I used the wiki when I was trying to finish up the music cape. I just kind of wikied every single track I was missing to see where to get it. And I guess a right-click unlock hint in-game, sure, I guess. You know, right now you can check the wiki if you don't do that, so whatever, why not? All right, question 12. Should there be an option to disable the warning given without any diving gear? When diving without any diving gear at Fossil Islands. This is like if you're going to do Fossil Island swimming, you don't have your helmet on. It would remove the option that tells you don't have a helmet on. And you can toggle this. So I like this because you can store your helmet there. And so it saves you a bank space. So yeah, that's fine, sure. Next question, should it be possible to add a single bank filler into your bank rather than filling it entirely? I can't think of many uses for this, but sure. Should the delay on movement after casting Bloom with a Blessed Sickle be removed? So this is like the only thing that looks like it's kind of a buff. Right now, you can only get a certain number of, what's it called, Mortmire Fungus an hour, and you probably will get more if they remove the delay on movement. But I don't know how many players this affects anyways, so I don't really mind this, but I don't know why this is on a quality of life pool. I don't know. Sure, whatever. I don't know. I don't think. Does this affect anything? Does it make it easier? I don't know. It's hard to say. Whatever. All right, should we reduce the randomness of how streams in Tears of Gothics change? We would make it so that each stream lasts for a short, fixed amount of time before changing. This is an interesting one because right now you have to either be paying attention, a lot of attention, or get lucky, I guess, to get a lot of tiers. And if it was a fixed amount of time, it'd be kind of like minnows, where you just click it, you know when it's going to end, so you know when to click again. It is kind of a change, but Tears of Gothics isn't that useful anyways. I made a video a long time ago of how, you know, even if you got really good points, it's not that much time that you save by doing it every week. So, sure. And that only depends on if it's your lowest skill. Like, if your lowest skill is agility or like rune crafting or something. So yeah, why not? This one's kind of funny. I feel like somebody messed up and that's why they asked for this one to be on a poll. Should the alch value of the imbued heart be increased, making it less likely to accidentally be alched? That's kind of funny. I alched a blowpipe once and I didn't have my options on my alt, and then I put them on to make the alch value for my, like, the alch warning be higher because of that. So I completely sympathize with whoever did this. Sorry about your imbued heart, man. Sure. Let's add an alch value to the imbued heart, or a higher alch value. This next one is kind of funny, but I guess I don't know. I don't really care because they're going to add the corp pet anyways. But should the sound of the pet dark core be removed? Yeah, I don't know. I guess if people are like at a bank and somebody's got like a dark core out, they're trying to have their game sounds on because they want to listen for something. I don't know. Yeah, why not? All right, question 18. Should the stats tab be changed slightly so the box containing your total level is aligned with the rest of the skill level boxes? So if you look at this right now, over here, all these boxes have this little like corner thing. They're like they're not full rectangles. They have like these little corner edges, and this one is just a straight box. And because of that, the box is lower on the hunter. See how it lines up, and the box is down here. On this picture, they would line it up so it's proper, and so it has these little corners to line up with everything. I never really paid attention to that. I didn't even know it was an issue until somebody pointed out, so I don't really care either way. Why not? All right, last couple questions here. Should an additional game tick delay be added when closing doors in Castle Wars? Currently, doors can be closed on the same game tick they are clicked. This would not change how doors are opened. I think this is kind of a big change, isn't it? I don't actually know, because I feel like this is to stop people from, you know, griefing somebody, being able to go in and out of a place. So you have one tick to move. I'm not against it, but it is kind of a, I guess they're just preventing griefing in that case. So you have a tick to move before the door gets closed, instead of, you know, somebody opening, closing, opening, closing, opening, closing, so you're kind of stuck there. I'm not against it. It just seems like it's a griefing change. All right, the final question: should the spinning wheel interface be replaced with the new chat box menu introduced with Make All improvements? Again, I guess they're just trying to make everything line up with Make All. This is actually something where you actually do make something. It's not like Blast Furnace where you don't make something, you just kind of withdraw. So yeah, sure, why not make it all line up with everything else in the game? Not against it. I think the only question that I was kind of against, well, I guess I had a question about the bloom. I don't know if that's a big buff, but I'm not against it. The only question I was really against was the Blast Furnace one, because it would add a delay unless they make a right-click take option. Apart from that, everything else in here seems like it's, you know, decent quality of life. A couple of them are questionable, like the noted compost, but how many people does that really affect? And this one, I don't really understand the enchant jewelry. Everything else though seems good. Seems, you know, why not? If you guys have any concerns or, you know, your own thoughts, leave them in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.